What up, peeps and peepettes? MorbTron back today with another episode of Destiny 2 Times. And today we are looking at the Contingency plan, a scout rifle from Dead Orbit. It technically is from Season 1, however I never got it until now. So here we go, folks. Ladies and gents, peeps and peepettes of all ages, is a weapon review. So this is a Viced automatic, super fast firing scout rifle. I did recently review another of this archetype, Hexmeyer, or what is the name of this darn thing I've got with me? Frostmeyer's Hex. And it's very similar. I'm actually going to make a comparison between the two here in a bit, but this one's got the same intrinsic perk because it is within the same archetype. The Viced rapid-fire frame. It's full auto, deeper ammo reserve, slightly faster reload when the magazine is empty. It has got 3 barrel choices, as you cannot change the scope on a Viced scout rifle. You've got small bore, extended barrel, or corkscrew rifling. I'm going to go small bore just because of the stability and handling loss with the other barrel choices, and the loss of range isn't that great. I am going with accurized rounds to get me a little bit more range out of it. You do gain 2 more bullets in the mag with appended mag. Not really worth it in my opinion. And it's got auto-loading holster as a trait, so the holstered weapon is automatically reloaded after a short period of time. So this weapon, it feels a lot like the Frostmeyer's Hex. It actually has a pretty comparison stat base to it when comparing it directly to the Frostmeyer's Hex. So the way that I've got my Frostmeyer's and the contingency plan set up, the Frostmeyer's has 2 less rounds in the mag, even with contingency plan having its lower magazine option. The Frostmeyer does have better handling and reload speed, but does have a little bit less range. Stability and, of course, impact are the same. Now, looking at this archetype of scout rifle, comparing it to my actual favorite archetype of scout, the 200 RPM, the one that Purpose is in, which is my favorite scout rifle, it has a lot more stats to it. Just base stats are a lot higher on the 200 RPM scouts. You see here what you're looking at there. Impact is, of course, higher because it shoots slower. But I think it's actually higher comparatively, how much damage it does versus the rate of fire. I think you get more DPS out of a 200 RPM than you do a 260. However, the 260s are full auto, and they do hip fire better. Even though the Purpose does actually do pretty good because it has a hip fire grip. But if you want to see my review on the Purpose, I've already done that. You can just search it on my channel. It'll pop up. This one here, it's got the same threat detector scope that every Viced scout rifle does. It feels good. The trait on it, you know, the auto-loading holster, doesn't really seem that useful, especially to myself. I don't usually holster a weapon without knowing where I'm sitting at as far as a magazine count goes, and I reload too much as it is, especially in the Crucible. It's a bad habit. I get caught with my pants down quite a bit doing that, but it could be useful in the Crucible. You know, you're at 2, you put your scout away, you know, you're shooting with your SMG, and then you switch back and your scout's reloaded. You know, that could be useful. I can see the value. However, I don't know if the weapon itself is actually worth that trait in and of itself. Other scouts do more damage. Most pulse rifles actually do higher damage output than this scout. I mean, it does shoot fast. You can hip fire with it decently on the PC if your tracking isn't as god-awful as mine is. I know I'm not the best player on the planet, guys. Sometimes my aim is that of a potato. It happens. We all have off days. I appreciate the understanding, or even the lack thereof. Whatever. It doesn't bother me. People want to give me crap about my aim. Whatever. Now, I will say that its ammo reserves also are pretty weak. You'll see here, I'm about to run out of ammo. So, is this a weapon that you can use exclusively and successfully throughout, like, a strike or a raid? You know, would this archetype of scout even be worth bringing to a raid? No. Nope, there are better options out there in pretty much every scenario. This archetype of scout is one of the least favorite. You know, some people are going to love him. Some people are going to stick to him no matter what, because their play type just clicks with this archetype of scout. It's not my bread and butter. Scout rifles themselves really aren't my bread and butter. I am more of a hand cannon, SMG, auto rifle, some pulse rifles person. So that's kind of where I sit with that. But we're still going to take it into Crucible, though, and we're going to see how it does there. So I'm going to grab this here fat loot, get my 3 dead Urbit tokens, and then we're going to do some Crucible. Alright, so we're heading on down to Vostok, which might be an actual decent map for a scout rifle. However, I'm just going to get this out of the way now. If you came here for a weapon review, I'll tell you right now, this weapon is extremely lackluster in PvE content, and it is awful in the Crucible. I've done a couple of rounds with it just to try to get something. I end up getting frustrated and swearing. So then I have to basically either heavily edit my audio, or since I'm just getting so frustrated and playing terribly because of that, just stop recording and try again. I can't use this weapon seriously. It loses every single encounter it goes up against. If you're in a 1v1 and you both start shooting at each other at the same time, you will lose. 100% of the time. Now, like any other weapon in D2, you can master the thing, and you can get some kills, you can clean up a kill, and get some points on the board. You know, you can team shot with it, fine, whatever. But if you're going up against a Mida or Uriels, or basically any other weapon in this freaking game, if both players are hitting their shots, you will lose. To the point where, like, I switched weapons there during a weapon review. I don't like to do that, but to keep my sanity, I'm going to, because this weapon is awful. So don't use it. If you get it, try it if you want to. But I'm telling you right now, it's terrible. This archetype of weapon really needs a rework if it is to be taken seriously. It is just flat out awful. Hey, free crest. So I mean, like any other weapon in the game, you know, you can team shot with it. You can master it. You can get kills. But like I said, 10 times out of 10, if you're going up against somebody and you start the 1v1 encounter and you both hit all of your headshots, you will lose. By a fairly substantial margin with most weapons. Like, all of the meta weapons are just going to completely destroy you. So yeah, there's that. And I don't like to get into this type of mindset very often where I become super negative. There's just absolutely nothing nice I have to say about this weapon. Nothing. I can never win melee battles. Never ever. He's dead though, so that's fine. But yeah. So if you... Oh boy. If you need to use a scout, use literally anything else. Oh my god. And I've gone up against... so another reason why I'm kind of frustrated this fine evening is the people that I've gone up against tonight, for whatever reason, are using not try-hard sweaty loadouts, but they're using like Uriel's Gift Mida. They're using Atalanta D or Atlanta D Mida, or Uriel's, sorry. It's always the meta. I haven't gotten... Most of the time, I get into a lobby, and there's a fair amount of people that are using whatever random weapon. Whatever random loadout. A loadout that they like. And one that's not necessarily the meta. But the first match I did, I ran into a full team, like 4 people, that were in Trials flawless gear, like completely, the whole armor set. And they were running, like, that exact loadout. Like, Atalanta D Uriel's, Mida Uriel's, you know. I think all 4 of them were running Uriel's Gift or Darkest Before. There wasn't any sort of variety in their loadout, and it was awful. My whole team left, I was the only one, and then I left too. Yep, how did that go for you, bud? Nice use of your super. We're losing, but oh Jesus, I'm sorry about the frame rate drops right now. I did order my new I'm gonna lose. I did order my new processor again. Hopefully this time when I get it, it's not broken. I had to reorder it because the company that I bought it from, when I sent it back to them, they thought I was sending it back to them because I no longer needed it. So they charged me like a pretty hefty restocking fee of like $65. And then... that was an enemy grenade. There was so many enemy grenades there. I had to like fight them to get that back. So I ordered the same processor again, but from a different supplier. And I'm not gonna air out that dirty laundry here, but dude, can you put the Mida away? Can you just stop? For my sanity, can you just stop? It's all night. I have precious little time to do my videos. And when I get put up against people that are this try-hard, they're not even necessarily all that great, but the fact that they're using these loadouts and I'm trying to use something that's maybe not so fantastic really sucks. So, yeah, I'm sorry to be negative. This episode's not going to be, you know, my best at all. But that's just the way it goes sometimes. Jesus. Yeah, we're going to lose. Where is... yeah, better devils. Can't use a loadout that's unique. Gotta use the meta and the meta only tonight, it seems. It's meta night in Destiny 2. This fine Thursday evening. It's Friday, you know, morning if you're watching this as it releases, but hey, we tied it up. Now, what we got to do is not let them do that. All right. Well, again, sorry for the very low. And I mean, I'm exhausted from work tonight, so I'm sorry. But this is the way it goes tonight. I got a 1.4. A lot of those didn't come from this terrible, terrible scout rifle. Yeah. So, pity-like? Yeah. This weapon gets like a negative 10 out of 10. It is so bad it's getting a negative 10. Just dismantle it. Just get rid of the thing. It's awful. On a side note, I did make... Where'd it go? There it is. My Hello Earth a masterwork, which is kind of nice. I have no clue what my cat is doing right now to make all that noise. I'm sorry if you guys can hear that. Goodbye, contingency plan. You're terrible. I just made it masterwork before I recorded the video, and I got handling, which means I was actually able to switch the barrel to hammer-forged rifling to get a little bit more range. So this thing is even more of a beast. I haven't killed anything with it since I've masterworked it, but more range, same handling. That's a win. But guys, if you, I don't even like this video. So pity-like, please. But, yeah. If you're new to the channel, I promise all my videos are not this low energy. I review bad weapons just like I review the good ones. This one was just the worst of the worst. One of the worst weapons in the game to date, I think. But yeah. Please hit that subscribe button if you're new and you want to see more of my daily content. If you have anything to say, put it in the comment section down below. Do not forget to have a good day, everybody, and I'll catch you all next time.